Jackie, how did you guys get things going in the second half in order to pull away?
Well, I think we just had to stay confident in our offense and get the shots. We got a lot of the shots that we wanted in the first half, and it was just a matter of knocking them down. I thought really the big key was having to turn it up on the defensive end. It takes a little pressure off the offense. And so I thought we were able to do that. Holding a team to 39 points was a really good defensive effort. Hood is scrappy. They're athletic. They can hit shots. And so we had to turn it up on the defensive end to, not allow them to hang around.
And I know you hit the big shot early, but when it's not all coming for
Yeah.
you, and it's not just you, it was the
Yeah.
whole team, right? What is the conversation like? How do you pick each other up when it's not going the way that you wanted to go early on?
Well, coaches obviously and teammates, we always tell each other keep shooting. And when it's not hitting, they always say, move the ball around and find your way in. If the shot on the outside isn't hitting, then drive inside. And I think that's pretty much all we did to execute.
A special night, obviously, celebrating National Girls and Women in Sports Day. Jackie, I know this has been a big thing for the program for a few years now. What does this mean to Stevenson, to you, to have a night like this?
Well, I just really appreciate all the work that went into this. Our shout out to all the women coaches that really stepped up today and helped out because we're obviously in season. And this took a lot of planning. And it was field hockey, softball, women's volleyball, women's soccer, all of the women's sports really rallied around to make sure that this night was special. We were the, game of the night, right? But to be able to see the support that our women's have for each other. And then there was a lot of men's teams here. And I think that's just as important, to be able to have men that are supporting us being able to make the strides that we've made. And there's so many people that have come before us. And, we're just trying to teach that lesson, I think, is that it hasn't always been this way. And we don't want to look back, and we just want to be the example and keep moving it forward.
I wanted to give this to you. What's the best advice that you would give to a young athlete, a young female athlete who might want to be a college athlete one day?
I would say get in the gym. Gym freaks are always it's going to show on the court. Stay confident. And that's pretty much it.
What about you, Jackie? What's the best advice you have for you've raised a couple of them? What's the best advice you have for young student athletes who might want to play at the college level?
I would say, be prepared for the sacrifice, and every sacrifice is going to be worth it. It's hard to kind of see what the end is going to look like, but again, after raising three and seeing what they're doing now as adults, and all the sports gave them the confidence, gave them the skills to be able to handle adversity. They walk with a different stride as young women, and they're proud, and I think sports does that for you, whether however your path ends up. I think that's the key that every player has to take. Every single player on our team, I hope, walks out of here saying, I was a college athlete. Doesn't matter how many minutes you play, doesn't matter how many points you score. It is hard to do this, and the sacrifice is so worth it.